Awesome. Hello, everyone. Just going to give everyone a few minutes to join and we can get started. All right. Hey, guys. So today we're going to be going through minting addresses. We're going to be minting some Halloween-specific themes for our special landmark minting event today. And so let's go through some of this. Where's that? All right, so where's everyone from? Where's everyone viewing from? I'm personally over in California, so I'm 9 a.m. over here, but just comment below. Poland, nice. 6 p.m. That's pretty late. Nice. Yeah, it's 9 a.m. over here, so that's really cool. Have you minted any landmarks yet?
Hey, Ryan.
Are you?
How you doing?
Let's see. I'm actually having trouble hearing you. Let's see. Nice.
Can you hear me now?
Not yet. It's still quiet. Let me see. So has anyone ever seen The Walking Dead, like the TV show? Hey, Anastasia, from Florida. Excited to see the mints. That's awesome. How are you doing with the hurricane? Hey, Clever. How's it going? Okay, so let's talk about some of the landmarks that we have in place today. So today it's an exclusive landmark minting event. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share with you just the DApp for some of the cool things that have been being minted right now, and then after we do that, I want to show you a handful of cool locations that some of them will be minting today, and some of them I won't be able to mint because I'm limited to 3. But the idea is to give you some cool ideas for the Halloween theme that's going on over the course of this month. So I'm going to switch the slides and we're going to present. Let's see. I'll get ready to mint. Awesome. That's good. That's good. Let's do it. Nice. Haven't mint today, but soon. Nice. Nice. So I'm going to let the screen load a little bit. Sometimes there's like a small delay as I'm sharing the screen, but very shortly here, everyone should see the DApp. Okay, awesome. So this is our DApp with the AI landmarks, and let's take a look at some of the recent landmarks that have been minted today. So go ahead, we're going to click on this. And so we could see that this is a really cool one. This is in the Fur Tool Station, Ashford, Tennessee. And then we also have Barron Springs in Houston, Fort Liberty in North Carolina. That looks pretty cool. Like you have like the Statue of Liberty in the middle. There's green, there's grass, and then there's a building around with the clouds. That's pretty cool. Fort Bragg, Jordan. Ooh, Maka Amen Street in Jordan. That looks pretty sick. Like with the buildings, the Bitcoin, I think the city. That's awesome. Fort Bragg. Look at that. That's like pretty cool. We have, looks like there's like a beach and then it has like the buildings and it's like a little like spaceship over there. It looks pretty awesome. Then we also have a church that, ooh, look at this. This one looks really cool. Antigua Barbuda. And there's like little guys in the middle there. It's like pretty cool. We have the Death Valley Junction. That looks pretty sick. With like the highways and then you have like the clouds. That's pretty awesome. Let's see, Horrorland. So this is great. So you could see even just like with the Halloween theme right now, you can see how like the colors are a little bit dark on that. Horrorland, that sounds pretty cool. With like the dark colors, you have the Bitcoin moon. It's like a gloomy moon. I think that's really cool. Let's see what else has been minted. Then after this, we'll go through some of the ideas that we have with The Walking Dead and any other ideas you guys have in the stream. You know, if we don't mint something, feel free to like type an address in the stream, and we could see if it's available and you can mint that. So, all right, awesome. So the Devil's Pulpit. Oh, dude, look at that. That's awesome. That's kind of like a rainforest vibe, or it's kind of like, I
Hey,
love like
Ryan.
the color scheme on that, where you have the trees, the palm trees, and then you have the valley in the middle. That's pretty exciting. Ghost Lake in Canada. So with the Halloween theme, it could even just be like a location that has like the word ghost or Horrorland or whatever that might be. That looks pretty cool. Like the color scheme, just like a bright like color scheme. Whoa, look at that. The Queens Highway in Long Beach, California. See how like the ghosts coming around. It's like aliens, ghosts. That's pretty sick. Oh, hey, Nina.
Hey, Ryan. Can you hear me?
Hi. So it seems like the mic is still. I don't know why I'm not able to hear you.
It looks like Carolyn can hear me.
Let me see. One moment. It might be my microphone. I'll try something.
I had some issues with signing on, so it might be just a little glitch. Hey, everyone. Happy minting. Sorry, guys, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Just bear with us a moment. So today we're going to have some great guests. We're also going to have Crypto Megan join, as well as one of our ambassadors, Ted, who's been doing some really cool things when it comes to minting some of the listings that he has and some of his clients. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Nina. Are you able to hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yep. Looks like everything's solved.
Awesome.
So, let's go.
Let's go.
Awesome. So yeah, we were just going through the DApp a little bit. I saw some of our community members have been minting some cool locations. Like I see there's Ghost Lake for the Halloween theme. We have this Queens Highway where you can actually see the ghosts that are coming through the clouds. I think that's pretty cool.
That is cool. I don't know about you, but Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. I love Halloween.
Yeah, I especially love the seasons. Like just like it gets you in the holiday spirit, like where everyone's like you start to see the decorations out, you start to see all the attractions coming out, and it's a great time.
Yeah.
Ordinal Galaxy, Bran Castle, Romania, Dracula's Castle. That's a good idea. That'll be, let's see if that's available. All right, switching the screen. And awesome. Yeah, so right now we're going to transition over we're going to start minting some addresses. The first few addresses that we're going to try to mint are some of the community suggestions. So if there's any addresses that you guys are curious on, type them in the comment section and we'll start searching them. After that, we also do have some landmarks planned out that we'll be minting as well. So I see the first one is Bran Castle, Romania. Dracula's Castle from Ordinal Galaxy. So let's see if that's available.
No, if that's available, we'll gift it to Ordinal Galaxy since he came up with the idea.
Exactly. Yeah, if we mint your idea, it'll be given away to you. So don't worry, we won't be taking it. It's going to be airdropped right back to you. So think of it like a free mint. Bran Castle, Romania. Bran Castle parking. I'm going to try Dracula's castle.
Let me see if I can find the address.
That's a good idea. Yeah,
While you're doing that, let's see. Bran Castle, Romania. Let me Google, because all the addresses are based on Google Maps. So let me Google the address. Or to know if you happen to have the address on you, you can go ahead and post it on the chat too. Bran Castle, Romania.
So I'm thinking I might have found it. Bran Castle Strata General.
Oh, somebody already minted it.
Wow.
Yeah, oh, here it is. Yeah, I did find it. Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody beat us to it.
Wow. And that happens. There's still so many places. So even if like you see something that's minted, one cool thing that I like to do is, let's say that Bran Castle is minted, we can always get like, you can always like search around like Bran Castle brand themes. So like, for example, let's see, Bran Castle restaurant, Bran Castle view. So sometimes like the view ones are really cool. Of course, it's not the iconic like original, but sometimes, you know, you can get like a view of the landmark. And those are usually good collectors, like to view that.
Yeah, this is a really spooky one. I didn't know that this castle represented what we know as Dracula. Did you know that, Ryan?
No, yeah, that's the first time I heard of that.
So this was the home of Vlad the Impaler. And he was not a nice guy. He was believed that he was imprisoned there after he was captured by Hungarians in 1462. And Bran Castle is not mentioned in the novel Dracula, but that's what they say that it was based on. Wow. Did not know that.
Well, that's really cool. Yeah, a lot of these locations, especially a lot of the things that we see in movies, we'd never guess that. We don't know like where they actually film them until we do the research, and then all of a sudden you can find something like this where it's Dracula's castle. We never knew about it.
And thank you for doing this. We got the address. The only thing is that someone seems to have taken it.
Yeah, so someone minted the original. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try to mint just a regular view one. I want to show like what some of like the view ones look like. So we're going to mint the Bran Castle View Trailhead. So if I had to guess, that's probably going to be like a trailhead where, like for tourists, for example, they could probably see the castle. And if I'm right, we'll see what the landmark comes out to be. So I'll let that get minted, and we'll gift that to you, Galaxy, for the suggestion.
We should add some ETH and Pro to that, and maybe some Coinbase stuff, since we're going to be doing some cool. We're working on a very cool partnership right now with Coinbase that's going to be announced in the next few weeks by Propy. So let's add some Coinbase in there. Hey, Megan, can you hear us?
Hi, how you guys doing?
Hey,
Great.
Megan.
How are you?
Excited to join this. I see you're also wearing your shirt, Nina. I've got it, mine too.
I got it.
Here, yeah.
Eat, mint, sleep, repeat.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I love this time when the landmarks open up. I just get so into it with my husband. We sit here and we just obsess over how the image is going to turn out, and it's super fun. So,
that's awesome. I need to get my shirt.
Yeah, you need to get one of these shirts.
We got to get one shipped out to you, Ryan.
Soon.
So you guys are looking at like spooky things, huh? Dracula, I was looking at, and all right.
Yes. So this one we're going to try to mint. So Bran Castle, the original was already minted. So we're going to try to mint the castle viewpoint, which I'm thinking it's probably like a tourist view where they could see something in the castle. And we're going to see how that comes out.
That sounds cool. I'm going to check out a few myself here.
So we're asking our viewers to add spooky places that they'd like to get minted.
Great idea.
If you want to come up with a spooky place,
All right.
we'll gift it to you.
Let's check it out.
And then we have a couple that that we want to mint as well.
I just saw Phantom of the Opera here in Spain, and I'm wondering where that was. I think that's also in one of those spooky areas.
Let's see.
And those keywords too, Phantom of the Opera. Sometimes like I notice our AI, whenever like we use keywords into some of the landmarks, they usually come out pretty cool with.
Really?
with the
So I didn't
descriptive
know you
word.
could do that. Where is that? Like, you mean if it's like within the title of the landmark?
Yeah, if it's within the title of the landmark, it's almost like the AI can like puts it into the context of it, and it'll try to show. It'll generate an image of that keyword inside of the landmark.
Oh, cool.
Now, as you're minting, I think it's important for people to know that while you're minting an address, you shouldn't change sites, because sometimes we get people asking about this. They say, "Well, I was minting and then it froze," and it's probably because you're moving back and forth between pages, landing pages. So when you're minting an address, always make sure that you stay on that our site until it's finished, because if not, then sometimes it'll freeze up because you're doing that.
Yeah, that happened to me a couple of times. You just have to let it do its thing before wait for it to finish. Yeah.
It takes 30 seconds to a minute, depending on your Wi-Fi connection. Now, so the Phantom of the Opera takes place in Paris.
Yeah, I was looking at that. So that's where like the real one was supposedly it's like the palace of something.
Yeah, it says it was set in the Opera Garnier. So maybe we can mint that one, also known as Palais Garnier. I'm sure I'm killing that name right now, but
I saw it too.
I'm sure the French know how to say it much faster. And this is a famous opera in Paris, opera house in Paris.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's see if we can look at it under that name, Ryan, or if not, let me see if I can find the address.
That'd be great. So before we transition on that, this is what the landmark came out to be with the viewpoint of Brands Castle. So we can see we have the Coinbase theme in the background. We have the blue and the white, and then we have the Ethereum, and then it looks like they put the Pro. It's like a token. I'm thinking that's for Pro, and then we have the castle like up in the middle of there with the view.
I love it.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's so fun to like just see how they turn out. It keeps you. I literally like get obsessed with this, and I've got to just stop myself at some point because I could go on for days.
It's addicting. It's like collecting. It's like collecting things. It's like you're trying to discover like what hasn't been discovered yet.
Yeah, and that's like the gamified element of it as well, right? Like how original and cool can it be, and you're not only owning the landmark but also influencing how it turns out is so much fun.
A ton, especially with that Coinbase feature that we just did. I think that's the first time I used the Coinbase thing where it actually turned it into like a circle.
Yeah, and you bought something collectible, right? Megan, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you did?
Yeah, so I just got really into this because I was talking about it on X as, could be like the next ENS play or something very similar to that because, these are like famous, iconic places around the world, a lot of them, which still haven't been minted. For those of you who think you're late to this party, you're not. Like, there are still a lot of them that are like really, really famous landmarks that have yet to be minted. But just owning those little pieces of history were very cool to me. So I am from like around the LA area in California, and I have and I was obsessed with getting the Hollywood sign. Someone beat me to the punch, so I ended up buying it on the secondary market for just around 1 Ethereum. And that's how much I believe in this. And I love it. And I'm going to hang it so I wanted to hang it in my Hollywood studio, which I will do, but I'm also going to get one for the home studio here because that's just so just emblematic of our times too, of like the AI picture and, all of these mixtures of things. So I was super excited to do that and, double down on it. And yeah, it was very cool. It's very cool to own the Hollywood sign.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
What's really cool with that too is that's like, I know when I was researching the Hollywood sign, I noticed that's like one of like the top 27 landmarks in the world. like
Ooh,
out of
got it.
everywhere in the world. So that you own like one of the top like 27, I'd say. And that's like
Yeah,
really
it's
cool.
exciting. And, you know, like sky is the limit. We're just getting started here and who knows what'll happen over the years. So it's like so many things in one. It's collectible. It's something cool that I can hang on my wall. It's art. It's like, what more will I be able to build on that in the future? I don't know. I just think there's so many things at play here besides just an ENS domain, right? Like the next ENS play. So
Absolutely. Especially with like brand partnerships and connecting, especially with the movie theme now. I noticed that we're going to start like looking into some of the Walking Dead locations. That's a movie theme. Hollywood,
cool.
everywhere they go, it's it's very universal.
See, there's like so many themes that you can like discover and explore, and you know, like now, like the spooky thing. I'm curious. Are you minting that right now?
Yeah, I could gift it to you. So
Or I can do it. I'm just asking if someone's going to do it because I think it's my favorite play of all time. So it's not only like a spooky theme, but it's just like it's fun. And I think that's also what appeals to people is that they can mint things that are meaningful to them. Like I minted my city here in Marbella. I minted Marbella, Sevilla, another city I've lived in, and they just turned out beautifully. And it's just fun to look at also. Right. So cities are another thing.
So something I did was I minted a couple of landmarks that were meaningful to me. And what I did was I printed them out. You know, there's a couple of, in the US, there's a couple of companies that you could just take a photo of something and then they'll print it for you. So what I did is I built like a whole wall of all my landmarks.
That's cool.
And I decorated my office that way. And it's just, you know, it invigorates me, right? Because every day, you know, you're working on this project, right? And it just reminds me, right, of what's the importance, right? And it helps me like on those days that are hard, right? Just look at that and say, this is my North Star, right? So that's something. So like you, yeah. So like you, I'm using the landmarks also to decorate my office.
That's so fun. That's amazing. I'd love to see it. You got to take a picture.
I have to get you a picture, yeah.
I think we could also even put them on canvas. Like you could print out like a big Canva, and then they could do that print on demand with some of the images. And the QR code.
That's a great idea, yeah.
So Megan, did you want to
the
share
address,
your screen?
Ryan, okay, of the Opera House? I put the address there on the chat.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I could do it. I could send it to you, Megan, after.
Okay.
So the address is Palace Garnier.
Yeah, I think we all butchered it. It's French.
French.
Whoever's listening to this that's from France is like, oh.
Yeah, they're appalled. They're like, oh, those accents. It's all right. We'll
Americans
pay him a tribute by minting it, and that'll be good.
Let's see. So sometimes I have to like play around with the words to see.
Yeah.
Just gonna get rid of the zip code.
Something about opera will probably be in there, which is cool because it's got the name in it. Hopefully, it did come up for me when I was searching it. I think.
Do you want to share your screen and try minting? Is it for me?
It's here. It's just Oh, it says it's already minted. Oh. Somebody else already got it. Oh my gosh! Wow, you see, that just shows how many people are like looking into this.
Yeah,
and digging in, getting creative here.
Wow.
So, all right. Well, whoever owns that one has got to share it on X. I got to see it.
Yeah, share it on X if you're on and you're listening, because maybe we have a buyer.
Yeah, you never know. Hey, that's the thing about collectibles too, is people are like me willing to buy them on secondary markets if they're meaningful to you, right? So like it's a really cool play. It's kind of like trading, I don't know, baseball cards, but only like landmarks and special addresses around the world. So.
Especially when it's relatable to a lot of people. Like I noticed, I was going through some of the sales on just a secondary market. I noticed some Harry Potter themes were going through, some like the big tech companies were going through, and it's just a lot of things that relate to people,
right?
As well.
No, very cool. And one of the other things I was doing was like minting the landmarks where I was like hosting events around the world, or doing things at, and that was fun as well, because then I could show like the location, but also the PropyKeys landmark that I minted, say like meet here at this time, this date. So
So I see. So we have a few comments here inside of the chat. So
Yeah, somebody else posted a request for Kerala. Kerala.
let's see.
I'm not
This
going
is
to attempt saying the other word, but yeah, they posted something on there.
let's try it. Let's see.
So one of the things that we're thinking about doing now that we're working on this new gaming concept, right? It's going to be kind of like an RWA Monopoly. We're thinking about also opening it up to including the landmark AI owners, right? But also at some point opening up so people can buy and sell the landmarks with each other. Do you think that would be something that people would want, in your opinion? You think there'd be a demand for a marketplace within our platform?
Well, yeah. I mean, the secondary value, like, if I'm going on to OpenSea and buying those things, I'd much rather, browse through your own marketplace to see what's been minted rather than, go somewhere else where people are. I mean, it's all oriented toward like PropyKeys and all the stuff that you guys have minted, and it's only about that. So I think that'd be really cool.
Especially keeping everything in like one place too. It makes it a lot easier than having to go from like PropyKeys to Rarible or wherever it might be, right? So it's like, which are great platforms, but in terms of like a gamification aspect, like if it maybe those platforms can directly integrate inside the site without having to transition to one, and it's just like the sales actually transact with them. But yeah, I think keeping them in one place will be a lot easier, and people can have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
See, Ted joined. How's it going, Ted?
Hey, Ted.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. So we were just going through some landmarks. We were minting. A few of them were taken. The original Dracula's Forest was taken, and we also just were looking at the Phantom of the Opera. That was also taken. So right now we're just going through some of the comments about which ones are available. So
cool.
So let's look up the next address that's on the comments, the Kerala one. Let's see if that one's available.
So that one actually came up as a regular address. It wasn't actually.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So now we do have some Walking Dead locations that we can start minting.
Let's do that.
That'd be cool. Yeah. People love that.
I love Walking Dead.
I haven't actually seen like the whole thing. I've just seen bits and pieces, but it's one of those ones that's been on my list forever, because I love zombies and I love scary things. I love Halloween. So you guys recommend it?
Have you
Yeah,
ever
I
been
definitely recommend it.
Have you ever been to Universal Studios?
Oh, yeah.
I think they have like a Walking Dead theme where the whole park is just specifically designed for Walking Dead, like around this time of the year, which I think that's really cool.
That is so cool. Makes me miss the US right now during this time.
Is that the one in Orlando, Ryan?
I think both Orlando and California.
I'll have to try that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, they especially that like right around this year. We did it once, and it's pretty cool. They have like the zombies, like they'll their actors dressed up as zombies. They'll come up to you. They'll like, I forget if they actually like if they're allowed to touch you or not, but like they'll jump out, scare you a little bit as you're going through rides and all that. So it's pretty cool.
That sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
it's pretty awesome.
I guess now you just gave me ideas like Disneyland, those have all obviously probably been minted, right? But those are really fun. I did mint I did mint one theme park. I think it was the one in my husband's city in Sweden, because it's like one of the only ones open.
Theme parks, I've noticed they're pretty popular on the DApp. Like I've seen some people they're minting like a lot of like the Disney rides or other theme parks like Six Flags. Like you mentioned in Sweden, Japan, Disney. There's a lot of really cool locations that I've seen, and roller coasters come out pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. I think it's also the intrigue of like, how will this image play out?
Mm-hmm. It's like, can I get like a carbon copy of this, or is the AI gonna have trouble generating that?
Right.
So this is Driftwood Beach, Jekyll Island. Inside, this was featured in season 5 as a location where Rick and his group encountered the Walking Dead, like the first like walkers around there. So
very
let's
cool.
see. So we're gonna let's change it up. Maybe we'll do Pro, Coinbase, and Nature.
Drum rolls, please. What will it look like?
So I'm gonna let this load for a little bit. Can't change the tab. 72%.
While we're waiting, Ted, why don't you tell us? Oh, where'd he go? Did he just sign off? Oh, he dropped. I was just about to ask him what he's been up to with the minting. He's a real estate broker out of Las Vegas, and he was telling me how he had been minting addresses for his clients.
That's
and
cool.
He sees that as something that is of value, right? Because then the client can upgrade and add their title and property ownership to that NFT. So I thought that was a pretty cool example of how people are utilizing PropyKeys.
Yeah, that is
That's
super
so
cool.
cool
It's like
too.
an added value prop. Yeah.
It also helps like strengthen the relationship with customers and people that you might be working with long term.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking at my mints. I also got Hollywood Boulevard, Venice Beach Canals.
Ooh, that's
The Palm
nice.
in Jumeirah in Dubai was a good one too. La Brea Tar Pits. Oh, I was the one that minted Six Flags. I'm seeing this now.
You have the
That's
whole Six
cool.
Flag Park?
It says, let me see. I just didn't even remember this. You see, I went on a tirade. Yeah, Six Flags, Magic Mountain, Parkway, Valencia. Oh, it looks fire too.
Wow.
Okay, this is one of the ones that, wow. Oh, by the way, that looks super cool. What you just minted. That
Yeah,
is
it looks
awesome.
great.
Yeah, like look,
It's like
So
eerie
this
and
is-
spooky, but cool.
so this is like I think a good example of where the landmark it like once you have like a keyword like the island, for example, it starts to generate that in the background, like Jekyll Island, and it just put the landmark on an island with like this. It looks pretty cool, like HD water, sand, and then you have the city coming up through here. You have like a little Coinbase logo and all that. So, yeah,
And
so
you
that's
have
Jekyll.
the creepy roots of the trees, right? Like it's coming to
Yeah.
get you kind of thing, right?
It's
Yeah,
like
the
eerie.
roots are
Yeah,
coming
cool.
Okay.
Another thing I just saw is that I minted my school. I think that people might do that a lot. Where I went to school, UCSB. And those are also really interesting because it's like you say, when it's like the word is in there, like it's like this schoolhouse in the middle of like the palm trees and the beach, and it's fun when when it gets those attributes involved because the words are in there.
And sometimes like you'll see like a logo too from some schools. Like I saw someone did like Michigan State, I think, and like the logo comes up onto it.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Now I got to do one myself. Let's see.
Okay. So it looks like Ted, he's trying to connect here.
Ted, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So tell us a little bit about what you've been doing with, the PropyKeys NFTs and your clients.
Well, it makes sense to me to try and activate any NFT that you mint, and basically what that means, if you're going to go on a listing presentation or go on a business presentation to for commercial purposes, to mint an address like that, and then when you get there, or you have the conversation, you bring it up and talk about why it's important and what it enables people to do, and you can I would think, I'm just really starting to do this, but get them to kind of sign up and get on board, and if it's a really great way to turn 2.5 pro into 50 pro, right from showing up, pretty much. So that's the way I see it. I look at it from a little bit different perspective, and I think a lot of people might. For example, we're talking about minting all of these landmarks. Well, someone that has that's able to offer the kind of products that I can would also go to a business and talk with them about transitioning from their Web 2 self into a Web 3 self, and then it all just kind of clicks and makes sense, and you can maybe sell the business on products that integrate with the blockchain NFT that you've just minted. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
like I said, I have a little bit different perspective than most, and go a little bit deeper with some of the things that I'm interested in. But that's why this is all so exciting, because there's something in it for everybody, and there's ways for everybody to learn and profit from what we're doing.
Yeah, I love that idea of, since you already are in real estate and you have clientele, you can, mint the address, and then once they upgrade their title, you get 50 Pro for each title. And now that we're opening up staking in the United States, think about this. Once that client upgrades to an RWA, they can stake and make money from the staking protocol as well. And every time every month, as based on minting activity, they can make some money on the address that they've staked. So that's another new feature that we're rolling out in November.
And that's a really great thing to bring up, because a lot of people don't realize that what basically you're talking about is putting money in a different kind of savings account that pays a higher rate of return than you can otherwise get in a bank. And especially if you look at it like this, if you can stake and earn a return on something that you're paying for at a lower interest rate than the one that you're getting, then you're coming out ahead.
Yeah, it just adds additional utility, right, to owning a piece of property other than what you have today, which is, if you own a property, the utility is you either live in it, right, or you rent it out, or you Airbnb it, right? But that's it. And so the way that we see what we're doing is we're adding more utility through the rewards program, the soon-to-be gaming, as well as staking rent protocol. And we also in the future see adding more utility for homeowners as well, as we expand and we grow our presence and our partnerships and so forth.
See, what I think is cool about what you're saying is that, basically what we're doing is we're creating a digital version. A lot of people say digital twin. I think it's more appropriate to say digital clone, because are we talking about a representation that looks like a metaverse space, or like a Matterport tour, or like what we're talking about, right, is basically a description of a space, right, that's encoded into software. And that's what gives us the control to be able to do all these things we're talking about, which also is going to include fractionalization and tokenization of properties. People being able to get loans against, those kinds of loans to either pay for or attract investors, instead of having to use a traditional mortgage company, which we're in such a great time to watch all this stuff happening, to watch the whole real estate industry transform. And the funny thing is, the industry is so distracted with something that's really not even relevant to what we're going to be talking about.
Couldn't agree more.
So, as a matter of fact, with one of my applications, I've already started development on a do-it-yourself short-term rental app. So that's going to enable people to do what we're talking about doing with software, and be able to do it and accept crypto, and everything is going to be secure and encrypted, and isn't really going to have to involve a bank or a property manager. It really puts control over one's data into one's own hands, instead of having to rely on other parties. Of course, you need people like us that can explain and walk people through this stuff. The people, especially the real estate agents, that won't be able to explain the stuff like we're talking about right now, are really not even going to be that relevant anymore.
Yeah.
I'm curious, how have your clients reacted to this? Like, do they have a lot of questions? Do they think it's cool? They want to get more involved, the traditional, kind of more traditional finance side?
Well, this is really a much higher level conversation than most people can have. A lot of people are still confused, between blockchain and Bitcoin, and I don't mean to oversimplify things, but, after the whole FTX debacle, which really poured a lot of cold water on the industry, made people really skeptical about even having these conversations, which is why it's so important for us to be doing what we're doing right now, especially with, again, the turmoil in the real estate industry, but also that's the distraction keeping people from talking about what's really important, and that is all the data breaches that are going on right now. Like, you hardly hear a word from the industry about, and it's really an epidemic, but it's brought on by the old practices, the old way of doing things. And no matter how much you refine your offering as a real estate company, Web 2 is pretty much played out. All the bad actors already know the ins and outs and the limits and what people know and what people don't know. And people are not protected the way they need to be, the way Web 3 is going to enable people to be able to prevent some of these companies from scraping and selling data and using people's personal information against them.
It's really interesting. I think we're a very important crossroad in the industry now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I look forward to having more of these talks, because there really aren't too many people in the real estate industry that also kind of get the transition that's happening. And with the current situation in the real estate industry right now, there's a good chance that half the real estate agents aren't going to have any sales to make already. And when you start talking about this data protection, fraud issue, the pool is going to be dropping way down, because consumers are going to be looking for real estate agents that understand how to protect their data and the value that they can bring that ones that can't even have these conversations won't be able to bring.
I love that path. It's really all about like bridging like real world assets to like relatable assets that people actually own in real life. And one cool thing that I wanted to share, like as we go on to that, with like a real world asset, is someone in the chat, they just mentioned with CEO. Excuse me if I butchered the name, but you mentioned minting the St. Michael the Archangel Church in the chapel of St. Edith Stein. So imagine like there's like real estate developers around here, there's realtors, there's agents that are familiar with a location like this. This could be like a great way to like mint this location, or it could even just be an everyday person, anyone that goes to a church like this, or they see it all the time, sharing this with people, showing like, hey, this is like a movement we're going on chain. And it's a new way to transact and to add more security to real life properties. It could be a great way to engage people. But this is what the landmark came out as. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, look at the colors with the sunset in the background.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I love the pink and blue. Also,
Yeah.
the theme.
Yeah, it's like very like the pink fading into the blue. That's really cool. So
it's beautiful. I know we're almost at the top of the hour, and I just kind of wanted to give some updates to everyone. We did post some stuff on X in terms of dates, but a couple of things we're now, in the next month or so, we're going to be announcing a partnership that we have with a gaming company, and we are starting to work on rolling out that game. Look out for that. Pay attention to our X account. And if you are not part of our Telegram account, make sure you join it as well. And you could also DM us if you're not sure about the Telegram account. Be careful, because we did find out that there is a scam Propy Telegram account. So just be mindful of that. And if you're not sure if you're on the right one, just DM us at PropyKeys. A couple other updates. We did change the distribution for staking. just because the staking protocol has always been tied to minting activity, right? And so we saw a drop on minting activity in the last month. And so we had to also tie that to the staking distribution for the past month. And so as long as minting activity goes up, we can go ahead and continue to pay out those distributions. But if minting activity is down, then obviously it's not long-term viable to continue to pay out the high distributions. So we do need your help to get the word out.
Time to start minting. That's what I'm saying. Let's go.
Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell your family members, so we can get that minting activity back up and we can distribute back more to the staking pool. And we are opening up staking for those tier 2 owners as well in the United States. And so that will take place in November. So stay tuned for that. And we're working on a lot of great things. So just, stay in touch on X. And if you have any questions, let us know. Propy is having a summit in November. It's going to be the 6th and the 7th in Miami. And I hope that you can make it. If you'd like an invite, please also send us a DM. And I know Megan's working on possibly attending that, right?
I am. I would love to. I mean, top level speakers. Also, Tim Draper. I mean, actually, I just put something on my X today. It was featured as the top 9 altcoins to have a watch out for on Altcoin Daily yesterday. And one of the clips that he put up there was of Tim Draper saying how he believes that property rights on chain are the future. And man, this is just going to be such an epic conference. So yeah, I would love to make it happen. So I'm working on that.
Awesome. And I think Ted is also working on that as well. So Ted, we'd love to have you as well. But yeah, do we have any other minting requests, Ryan? Is there anything else that we want to mint?
Let's see. Well, one thing I want to highlight, I think personally I've used all 3 of my mints, so I won't be able to mint any more. But one thing I did want to highlight for all the addresses that we did mint, if you guys could just share your address, like I see with you, is please DM our Twitter account at PropyKeys with your base address, and we'll send you this church landmark as a gift for the idea. And also Ordinal Galaxy as well. We minted your first one, I believe, like the viewpoint of the Dracula's castle. So also please DM us your base address, and we'll send that over to you. And I think like one bonus is we could probably give away the Jekyll Island, the NFT that we minted that was a Walking Dead. So we could probably do a giveaway campaign on that for some of our viewers.
Yeah, and so moving forward, we're gonna have these live streams on the day on the 13th, which is our day for the landmark AI sales. So just so you know, and we'll be talking about what's going on with PropyKeys and do some fun minty activities.
Mm-hmm. And if you guys have a great idea and we mint it, we'll mint that for free for you, and we'll gift it to you after the live stream.
Oh, nice. You can get some really valuable mints right now. I mean, I know after this, I'm going to hop on and do my thing. I mean, last time I minted like about 20 or 25. So wow. Yeah, I get a little bit obsessed with this. It's super fun.
There's so many hidden gems. I mean, especially when you look at the ENS, they have like millions and millions of ENS domains minted. We're still 285,000. So we're not even 10% of that yet. And there's just so much room for explosive growth. Yeah,
and so many good ones still unminted. Like I'm actually been searching as we've been talking, and there's a lot of gems out there still. So yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, great. I think we're at the top of the hour. So I think we're want to wish everybody a happy Sunday and happy minting.
Yeah. Happy Sunday, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye all.
Later.